Hi, this is Scott with Etrailer. Today we're taking a look at and installing our CURT 1.25" hitch on our 2016 Ford Fiesta. My first impressions for this hitch is I like the way this one sits on this one. It tucks away underneath of our fascia, so you don't really see any receiver. This is a visible cross tube design, but it is tucked back in far enough where you really don't see it unless you really try and find it. This is going to be a good option for Fiesta owners that want to carry a small cargo carrier or a small bike rack with a bike or two on it. It's going to have a really nice black finish on it. It's going to be a powder coat, so it's going to hold up really well to the elements and really resist scuffing and scratches. This hitch is going to have a 1/2 inch pinhole opening. That's going to hold in any of your accessories that you install into the back. Now this won't come with a pin and clip, so keep that in mind. You may want to pick one up here at Etrailer. Another nice option for these is going to be a locking pin. What that's going to do for you, it's going to allow you to lock any of your accessories that you have on back in place. So say you have your nice bike rack on there, and while you're down the trail, you don't want anybody to take it off of there. That's going to hold it in place and keep it secure. This is going to have welded on safety chain loops. So that's going to be pretty heavy duty. It's going to accept your S-style hooks or your Clevis-style hooks. So if you ever plan on pulling a small trailer, that's going to have you all set up for that. As far as our measurements go, from the center of the pinhole out to the edge of our bumper, we're looking at right at 4 inches. With that number, you're going to be able to decide that if any of your accessories that fold up or stow away are going to make any contact with the back of your vehicle. Now from the top of our receiver tube on the inside to the ground, we are looking at right around 9 inches. Now with that number, you'll be able to decide if you need any rise of the shank of like your bike racks or your cargo carriers. As far as weight ratings go for this hitch, we're looking at a tongue weight rating of 150 pounds. That's going to be the weight of your bike rack with your bikes on it or your cargo carrier loaded down with your gear, pushing down on the lower portion of the hitch itself. Now for a gross trailer weight rating, we're looking at 1,500 pounds. That's going to be the total weight of your trailer and everything that you have on that. Now keep in mind, it's always a good idea to take a look in your owner's manual and make sure that you're not exceeding any of your tow ratings in there. Now for best practice, it's usually best to go with the lowest number between your hitch and your owner's manual. So if you have any questions or comments about this hitch for your Fiesta, feel free to leave a comment down below in the comment section, or you can get a hold of one of our experts here at Etrailer. Now as far as installation goes, this is pretty straightforward. It's something you could probably do in your driveway or your garage on a weekend, so it's not really too bad. But if it's something you don't have time to do yourself, you can take a look at our dealer locator and get something done for you locally. If it's something you want to tackle yourself, stick around, watch our video, and we'll help you get it installed. To start our installation, we're going to need to get our exhaust out of the way. So I have a cam buckle strap supporting my exhaust. And what I did is we have these rubber isolators. I just sprayed these down with some soapy water and worked it into the inside of those. And that's going to make it a little bit easier to pop these off. So now I'm just going to take a pry bar, get behind that, and work those off. Now with this rearward most one, we're going to want to take it completely off and out of the way, but for now I'll start with getting it off of the bottom. Now we'll remove this isolator completely. It's going to make it easier for us to slide our hitch into place. Now we're going to have another isolator a little bit more forward, almost in the middle of our vehicle. I'm going to want to remove that isolator as well. These can be a little tricky to remove, but just keep working at them and they will pop off. Now for this one, I'm going to use isolator pliers. It makes it a little bit easier. This one's a little bit tricky because there really isn't much to pry on. Please at least get it over that hump. With those off, now I can hold up on my exhaust and release my cam buckle strap slowly, let my exhaust down. That's going to give us room to access our heat shield. Now to remove our heat shield, we're going to have 3 10mm nuts we want to remove. With those off, we can remove our heat shield. Now we have our heat shield marked out where we need to trim it off. I'm just going to use some tin snips, and make sure you have some gloves on if you do this. This stuff's pretty thin, so it should cut fairly easy. Now we're going to reinstall our heat shield that we got all trimmed out. Now we're going to need to get our hardware put in place, and in our kit we're going to have our spacer blocks and we're going to have our carriage bolts. So for our forward mower hole, it's a little bit smaller than this one back here. We're going to take our coiled end and run that back to the larger hole, pull our coiled end down and through. Now we'll take one of our spacer blocks, put that onto our coil and follow that up with our carriage bolt and just thread that on. Now we'll take our spacer block, put that up through the frame, get our carriage bolt to go up and in, pull those to the hole. Now we'll remove our coil on this side. This being our driver's side, we're going to be reusing these on our passenger side. So now for our rearmost hole, we're going to take a spacer block, carriage bolt, and what we're going to do with this one, this is going to be what we call reverse fish wire. So what we're going to do is take our carriage bolt, put that up into the frame, follow that up with our spacer block, may have to turn your spacer block. Now we can pull that down through the frame and remove our fish wire. On our passenger side, we're going to do this a little different. This is going to be right above our exhaust, and we're going to do the same procedure of run it through our front hole to our back hole and pull that down through. But the difference is with this one is we're going to leave our fish wires in place on both of our hardware sets here, and you'll see why in just a second. Now we can get our hitch lifted in place. I recommend having an extra set of hands. I'm going to have Jonathan help me out with it today. Now when we're doing this on our exhaust side, we're going to have to feed our carriage bolt fish wires down through our hitch. Make sure we get them in the corresponding holes. Now when we do this, we're going to have to clear our exhaust hanger. And that's going to push our bolts back up into the frame. Now once we have our hitch in place, just pull our bolts back down through. You may have to wiggle them a little bit. Get one set of hardware on, and and that'll hold our hitch in place. Now we just want to make sure that our hitch is centered up where we want it on the back of our vehicle. And now we'll come back through with an 18mm socket and snug down our hardware. With everything snugged down, we'll come back through with our torque wrench and get everything torqued down to the specifications listed in our instruction manual. If you don't have a torque wrench, you can pick one up here at Etrailer. We do have some options available, or you can take a look at your local auto parts store and you should be able to rent one there. Now with everything torqued down, we'll come back through and get our exhaust isolators put back in place. A good trick to do with these is go ahead and spray down your posts and your isolators, and that'll help everything go back in place a little bit easier. With our exhaust back in place, we can remove our cam buckle strap. And with that out of the way, that'll do it for our look at and our installation of our CURT 1.25" hitch on our 2016 Ford Fiesta. I'm Scott with Etrailer, and thanks for watching.